EU passport in 2026. Why a second citizenship is becoming a strategic necessity. Obtaining a second citizenship is no longer a privilege for the few. Today, it is a deliberate choice made by people who value flexibility, security, and global opportunities. In 2026, an EU passport becomes one of the most powerful tools for those building an international life. Education for children, freedom of movement, access to markets, work, and investments. Today, we'll discuss how European citizenship truly strengthens your personal strategy and how to obtain it in the most efficient way. My name is Mia, and you're watching the Visa Dan channel, where we make immigration, visas, residence permits, and citizenship clear and achievable. Why is an EU passport in 2026 a truly strong strategic asset? Because even a passport from a small European country automatically gives you access to all 27 EU member states, and that fundamentally changes mobility, career opportunities, and overall quality of life. And there's one important thing to understand right away. A European passport is not a trophy document or something that sits on a shelf. It's a tool that works for you every single day in your career, business, travel, and education, and most importantly, in your family's future. Let's start with the most basic, yet most powerful advantage. With an EU passport, you gain full freedom to live, work, and study across EU countries without additional permits or a complex bureaucracy. You can live in one country, work in another, and send your children to school in a third, all within a unified legal framework. For families and careers, this level of flexibility simply doesn't exist for visa holders or temporary residents. This naturally brings us to education, a decisive factor for many families. Here is what truly matters. EU citizens often pay tens of times less for education than international students. European universities, public and private grants, and preferential programs all become available only after obtaining citizenship. For many families, this is not just a bonus. It is a strategic decision to invest not in inexpensive visas, but in their children's future. But an EU passport is not only about education. It is also about careers and business without borders. With a passport, for example, from Portugal, you can live in Spain and open a business in the Netherlands. Holding EU citizenship makes you a full participant in the single European market. That means access to employers, clients, banking systems, and partners without additional barriers or restrictions. In this sense, the EU operates as a one large space of opportunity. The financial aspect is also worth addressing. Many European countries offer special tax regimes for new residents. Italy, Greece, and several others allow you to legally reduce your tax burden and build a comfortable financial strategy, combining a European standard of living with reasonable taxation. With proper planning, an EU passport becomes not an expense, but a part of financial optimization. Another often underestimated factor is global mobility. EU passports rank among the strongest in the world, offering visa-free access to more than 190 countries. For entrepreneurs, investors, and professionals, this means fewer restrictions and greater freedom for deals, projects, and international connections. You don't adapt to visa rules. You simply travel where opportunities exist. Finally, there's an interesting nuance that more and more US citizens are considering. Many Americans, tired of global taxation, political limitations, and geopolitical baggage, see an EU passport as an alternative or even an upgrade. For those who don't plan to permanently reside in the US, European citizenship can offer more flexibility and peace of mind. In the future, traveling with an EU passport may even be easier than with passports from the Five Eyes Alliance: the US, Canada, Australia, the UK, and New Zealand. Now let's talk honestly about nuances you need to consider in advance. European citizenship is a serious tool, and it should be used consciously. We won't dramatize. There are not many pitfalls, but understanding them early helps avoid unnecessary questions later. The first key point is choosing the right country. Despite the EU being a unified space, daily processes differ significantly between countries. Tax rules, residency requirements, administrative procedures, and even cultural context all affect comfort. That's why at Visa 10 we always adapt the country to the client, not the client to the country. Our goal is to ensure that citizenship strengthens your strategy, not complicates it. The second point is increasing regulation within the EU. The Union is actively improving financial controls, banking compliance, and transparency requirements. For law-abiding citizens, this is not a problem, but it's important to understand how banks operate, what reporting may be required, and which transactions need attention. When these factors are considered in advance, there are no surprises. Another topic that sometimes raises concerns is the discussion of conscription reforms in certain EU countries. This issue appears periodically in public discourse, but it's important to understand that rules are clearly defined and never applied retroactively. When selecting a country for future citizenship, we always consider age, family plans, children, and long-term goals, ensuring comfort not only today, but 10 or to 15 years from now. So how can you realistically obtain EU citizenship today? Without myths, gray schemes, or empty promises. Proven pathways exist, and many are closer than you might think. Sometimes a second passport is already in your family. It just needs to be properly confirmed. We often encounter clients who have European roots but never consider them as a real option. Citizenship by descent is one of the most direct and reliable routes to EU citizenship. If you have ancestors from Italy, Ireland, Poland, Lithuania, and several other countries, this may be your path. At Visa 10, we frequently use this route because it is legally clean, predictable in timing, and doesn't require years of residency. There is also a more traditional path, through legal residence and subsequent naturalization. Many European countries allow you to obtain residence permit, live in the country for the required period, integrate, and then apply for citizenship. This option suits those planning a genuine move, a life employer in Europe, not just obtaining a document. Choosing the right country and residence format is critical to make the path realistic and achievable. For those thinking long-term and viewing Europe as a business environment, investments and entrepreneurship can also lead to citizenship. Some countries consider applications from investors who create jobs, pay taxes, and contribute to the economy. This is neither the fastest nor the easiest route, but it's absolutely real for those building a multi-year strategy rather than seeking instant results. And this is where choosing the right route becomes essential. There is no universal solution. For some, ancestry is optimal. For others, relocation and naturalization. For others, business and investment. At Visa 10, our role is to identify your real potential and turn it into working path to an EU passport. Second citizenship is not a luxury. It's a layer of protection and opportunity expansion. Sometimes the best strategy is not to apply for an EU passport immediately. Often it looks like this. Obtain a European residence permit, for example in Portugal, Greece, or Spain. Simultaneously secure a fast second passport in the Caribbean or Latin America. After several years, proceed to EU citizenship. This approach provides maximum flexibility, mobility, and security. Who benefits most from an EU passport? First and foremost, international entrepreneurs and investors. EU citizenship significantly simplifies access to European markets, banking, investment tools, and business structures. You stop being a foreign client and become a part of the international system with a completely different level of trust, transaction speed, and scaling potential. The second major group is families thinking long-term. An EU passport provides access to quality education, reliable healthcare, high security standards, and freedom of movement across Europe. For many, this isn't about immediate gain. It is the foundation of calm, stable future. And, of course, EU citizenship is especially valuable for globally mobile professionals. If your career isn't tied to one country, an EU passport allows you to build your professional path anywhere in the Union without visas, permits, or stay limits. You choose where to live and grow based on the opportunity, not immigration constraints. European citizenship works best as part of that well-designed strategy. In rare cases, an EU passport may not be a primary goal. For example, if someone seeks zero taxation or complete avoidance of formal reporting, even then, we provide alternatives. An EU passport in 2026 is a powerful tool for personal and family security, career growth, mobility, and long-term stability. Its value continues to rise, and the opportunities it unlocks define an entirely different level of freedom. The Visa Den team helps you to navigate this path efficiently, legally, and predictably, from ancestry checks and country selection to full support at every stage. If you're considering a second citizenship or want to build a multi-year strategy, reach out to us. The Visa Den team will design the optimal solution and guide you all the way to the result. This was Mia, Visa Den. Subscribe, ask your questions, and see you in the next video.